Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Detroit Lions, but with the new addition of Jameson Williams. Now, if you do want these rosters, check out the link in my description. The rosters do not come with development traits, so you have to give development traits accordingly to how you think a player will do. I personally think Jameson Williams is the best receiver in the class. People can argue Garrett Wilson or Drake London. I like Jameson Williams the best. I just think he's going to be the better of the group. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, they got a great receiving core overall. And of course, we cannot forget the man himself. Where is he? Oh, he's playing on the edge over here. I wouldn't really consider him to be a linebacker type. So I am going to move him down to left end here. I feel like that would just be better for the team. I don't see him as that type of edge. So I'm going to move him to left end, and I think he deserves Superstar X Factor. Best player in the class. I think the Jaguars were total idiots for passing up on Aidan Hutchinson. So congrats to you, Lions fans. So Aidan Hutchinson is going to be playing here. And looking at it from a defensive perspective, who else did they get? I feel like I'm missing someone completely. In the second round, they got John Penisini here. I know him. I think they got this guy, Pascal here. Joshua Pascal. So he's going to be a left end behind Aidan Hutchinson. And yeah, Julian Okwara here, Romeo Okwara. But looking at the team offensively, we got Jared Goofball here. He's not going to be our QB for long. I hate to break it to you guys. Even though he didn't have a horrible season last season. Ooh, sorry, I had to get that out. It doesn't show it on here. He didn't have a horrible season. I'm just not going to pay him $30 million a year to be a 72 overall normal development QB. It's just not happening. DeAndre Swift, he's mediocre. I had him on my fantasy team last season. Injury kind of screwed him. DJ Chark was a great signing by the Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown broke out. You got Jameson Williams, TJ Hawkinson. You really got a bunch of weapons behind Jared Goff, behind a stellar offensive line as well. Let's refresh this roster, actually. And Penei Sewell, this is the only hole in the gap. Vitae here. I'm not trying to pronounce that first name. I think it's Vitae is his last name. Frank Ragnow is great. Jonah Jackson, I believe it is. Yeah, Jonah Jackson has some development. Taylor Decker isn't bad either. Just an amazing offensive line with great weapons around you. You just need the QB. But defensively, though, it needs a lot of work. A very, very lot of work is a lot of work is an understatement for this defense. Deshaun Elliott is a great player. Loved him as a Ravens fan. But the problem is he can't stay healthy. It's just a huge problem. But when he is on the field, he's a great player. They got Mike Hughes in free agency. Amani Oruwariye isn't even a bad DB. I think he should be like star dev 82 overall. He's actually a pretty good DB. He's very underrated. Jeff Okudah, I'm not trying to say he's a bust Lions fan, but even though whenever he's on the field, he's not bad. He's not bad, but he's not horrible. He's like, meh. He's just not on the field a lot. Even whenever he is on the field, he's just nothing impressive. I'm not trying to call him a bust, but for a pick 3 in the draft, a first round pick let alone, but pick 3 in the draft, he's not exciting to watch. I'll say that. That's just what I'll say on him. I'm not trying to call him a bust because he still has his entire career to make up for himself, but so far he's nothing impressive. Anyways, back to the rest of the team. It's atrocious. Specialist, I'm going to put DeAndre Swift as a starter here. Jameson Williams is going to play in the slot as alone here. Hamilton, how old are you? I'm going to move you up over in alone here. And yeah, looking pretty good. I'm not going to change up these schemes or playbooks in the first year. It's going to be a new thing that I'm doing, so that way I can just see how good the team performs by themselves. So I'm not going to change up anything here, and I'm just going to see how the team does by themselves. And apart from that, guys, I'm going to get into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 2-5, bottom of the division. This is exactly how I expect the Lions to play. Remember, these are the Lions playbooks, so don't expect them to be God tier in their first year. This is what I expect from the Lions. 2-5. Already a better season than last season, right? No, they only had 2 wins last season, so they're getting there. Jack Fox, I'm going to pay a punter because this is probably one of the best players on our team. Sad to say that, but yeah, it's true. Deshaun Elliott, of course, I want you back. We have injury off in this simulation, so I don't have to worry about it. DJ Chark, I would love to have back. Some of these contracts aren't correct, but they're on the right teams, so I'm re-signing him. Mike Hughes, I would love to have back as well. Up the money for him, and he resigns. Ends alone, no. Gerard Davis, and I don't know. How cheap? That's dumb cheap. I'll keep you for the rest of the rebuild, even if you're rotational. That's stupid cheap. He wants more salary. I'll give it to him. Hamilton's also pretty cheap. Maybe if you could just accept that. And they both want more salary. Interesting. Okay. Probably just going to take one of them then. So apart from that, guys, I would say that it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are at the end of season, 5-12. Not surprised. This is something Lions would do. Again, we are in the Lions playbooks and in their schemes. So this is all the Lions. None of this is me. Stats and awards. Let's see what we got here. Jared Goff did not do horrible, I guess, but not good either. 28th offense, 29th defense. You know, it's allergy season for me, so don't worry about it. 4,000 yards, 26 TDs, 18 interceptions is horrible. DeAndre Swift, 9 TDs, 4.0 per carry, 1,000 yards. Not a horrible season for the rest of the team. Jameson Williams, 10 TDs. That's great to see. Anyways, defensively, Mike Hughes, 100 tackles for a loss, 15 for Aidan Hutchinson, sacks, 7 for Aidan Hutchinson. That's a poor rookie campaign for being a number 2 overall pick. Interceptions, 4 for Amani Oruwariye, the underrated defensive back. 0 safeties and 0 defensive touchdowns. It's time to change up to the schemes that I want. I'm going to keep the Lions. Do I keep them in a 3-4? Like, their linebacking core just sucks. I think it's better if this team moves into a 4-3. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you guys want to cry in the comments about it, cry all you want. It's not going to change anything. Video has already been made. You're seeing this now. So, they're moving into a 4-3. I think the team will perform significantly better in a 4-3. How much does it take to cut you? Too much. I would be losing money if I cut Michael Brockers. Aquara, I'm going to move down to right end. He's going to start over Michael Brockers. He's not going to be here for long anyways because he's not that high of an overall, and I don't really plan to re-sign him. But he's going to move down to defensive end anyways because this team should definitely be in a 4-3 and not a 3-4. Aquara, I said move down to right end, and okay, I guess it's glitching out and it's refusing to do what it says. Okay, there it is. Julian Aquara is going to play up there, and just already generated the best lineup. Please let me change my scheme. I have to switch back over to offense. Vertical zone run is what I would like. I always go vertical zone run. Let's go. Can I go? Yeah, vertical power run. Then I always go Kansas City's offense. Come on, where is it? There it is. Kansas City's offense. Then let's rock with the Rams defense. We're going to rock with that, see how that goes. Yeah, so anyways, guys, apart from that, we switched up the schemes to the way I like it. It's now time not to file staff, but to get into the offseason. I hate that they put the button literally right next to the next week button, and then it just disappears. So let's move to the offseason. And the Titans beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, and there are no Lions here to win the Rookie of the Year. Looks like Kenny Pickett wins the Rookie of the Year. So for offense. Defensively, well, looking into the roster to see if there is any development upgrades. We look not impressive. How big is Jameson Williams? 6'2", 179. Very lanky guy. Defensively, no upgrades either because the team just sucks overall. Anyways, let's move into the re-sign players here to see who we have to re-sign. Those 2 middle linebackers, I want to re-sign one of them just as depth, and the other one can walk. So whoever is a higher overall, I will keep. What do we got here? 2021 retirements. We have the NFC North. We do. Packers and Ndamukong Suh retires on the Packers. Interesting. They must have got him in free agency. Looking at players ready to negotiate, Gerard Davis or Sean Dion Hamilton. I'd much rather pronounce Gerard Davis, so that's what I'm going to do. Up the money for him, up the salary, and he resigns. Hamilton's going to walk. Everyone else here is a no for me. I don't really care about them, so I guess it is now time to skip into free agency. And now I have given Tom Brady the ultimate task before he retires, rebuilding the Lions. That is what I plan to do for this storyline, and this is a sick one. I'm sure the Lions fans will love this. You got Jason Verrett here and Jabril Peppers at middle linebacker, and I'm sure Tom Brady's going to love this team. He has a perfect offensive line. He usually always has an amazing offensive line. He's got his beast tight end, his new Gronkowski. He's got some solid weapons here. Nothing amazing, kind of like how we had in New England, you know. He had some Walmart receivers, you know. They picked up some cashiers from Walmart before the game. And then he has his mediocre running backs. This is exactly what Tom Brady needs. So anyways, guys, apart from that, let's get into the draft. At pick number 4 in the draft, I'm picking up a defensive back, Jose Tucker, 5'10", 199 pounds out of Boise State. Hidden dev, 95 speed. He seems like an absolute beast. In the other part of the first round at pick 12, the pick that I traded back with the Chiefs for, 6'5", 332 pounds, CLYDE BARTON, hidden dev out of Washington State, securing the offensive line officially for Brady. In the second round, I'm picking up a QB, Travis Young, 6 foot out of North Carolina, 208 pounds, 90 throw power, but unfortunately only normal dev. In the third round, I'm picking up a middle linebacker, Nick Francisco, 6'2" out of Auburn, hidden dev. Seems pretty good. Here we are after the draft, as we have Barton here, who is a right guard, so I'm going to be cutting this guy just so that way he can start over there. So let's officially generate him over there. Barton, you are a right guard. Yeah, CLYDE BARTON is a right guard. He's going to start over Vitae, I believe is how you pronounce it. Goff. This young guy, Travis Young, I picked up in the second round, 69 overall. Nice. He's a scrambler type. What's his speed? Let's see. 90 throw power, 91 speed for a QB. That dude is blazing fast. He's going to start over Jared Goff, and Goff is going to get cut. Can I cut him? That will save me $10 million. It will save me $10 million, but can I just completely get rid of his contract? Is there any team with the money to do that? I don't think there is. Football team was getting there. Can I do that with football team? Or the Commanders? $2 million left? All I have to do is clear $2 million for them. Can I take Kendall Fuller from you? And then I'll give you like a third round pick with Jared Goff? I feel like that'd be fair. Is that allowed? Not even close. So how far does that get me? Can I throw in... Oh. I have pick 2 and 4 projected next season too? Wow. Pick number 4? I don't know if I'm willing to trade a first round pick for Kendall Fuller, but dang. Didn't know he costed that much. Deron Payne would be sick. How far does that get me? Not even close. What do I do here? Montez Sweat would be a sick addition, but it wouldn't be enough money. William Jackson. Cameron Curl, I would love to have. And can I take someone off their hands? That would clear their cap. Charles Leno. Logan Thomas. I'll take Logan Thomas and Cameron Curl. Could I do that? Logan Thomas, Cameron Curl, and with a third round pick, do it? Yes, it would. Jared Goff for a third round pick and Cameron Curl and Logan Thomas. I'm just taking Logan Thomas just to clear some cap room, but he can play as a second string there. Barton's going to secure the offensive line. Young is going to be my second string QB, second round pick. And yeah, huge upgrades here. Defensively, Cameron Curl. Tucker is a 78 overall beast right here. Jeff Okuda is going to play. He's going to play in the slot. I like Oruwariye, but we got a lot of depth here. Francisco, I'm going to move him to left outside linebacker, Nick Francisco. He's a Furo general type, so he's going to be playing great coverage on this left outside linebacker position. Nick Francisco. He should have gone to San Francisco. That would have been so funny. It wouldn't be funny. Nobody likes jokes. Anyways, this is what we got here. Aleem McNeil. Defense shaped up perfectly in the offseason. Super excited about it. Jeff Okuda is going to start in the slot. Francisco, Jabril Peppers, DeAndre Swift is going to be my starter all around. Jameson Williams is going to be my receiver 1. And yeah, like what we got, Brady's leading the offense, Kansas City's offense, and Rams defense. Let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 3-4. Offense is doing good, but damn, the defense just sucks. My gosh. Let's switch it up. We're going to switch out of this immediately. Washington, New Orleans. Like, literally nothing seems to work good for me. Sometimes the Ravens playbook does. Maybe we'll switch up to that and see how that does for the second half this season. Come on, can I get there at any point? Baltimore, there it is. Must have passed it the first time. But, yeah. Unfortunate. Never to say the less. Coming off a loss to the Cardinals. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have here. Amani Oruwariye already expressed how much I like him. And that's a dumb cheap deal. Yes, please. He resigns. Jamal Williams, no. Charles Harris, no. Josh Reynolds, no. Austin Seibert, no. Everyone else here is just a no. So apart from that, guys, it's now time to move into the playoffs. Tom Brady always prevails, and he pulls through, taking the division. He's not going to go a single season without never ever missing the playoffs. He doesn't miss out on the playoffs. He ruins dreams in the playoffs. That's right, home field advantage against the Dallas Cowgirls here. We're here to face them, but first let's look at these stats goated out by Tom Brady. Tom Brady himself, amazing. Best in passing yards, best in passing touchdowns. Where is he at? 7th for MVP. He should be first, bro. He's on the Lions. 7th best offense in the NFL. Yikes on defense. 5,100 yards, 41 TDs, 18 receptions. The reason why he's 7th for MVP. DeAndre Swift, 9 TDs, 12 TDs for Jamal Williams. 3.7 per carry is not good, under 1,000 yards. St. Brown, 1,300 yards, 11 TDs. TJ Hawkinson, 11 TDs, 1,000 yards. DJ Chark, 1,100 yards and 7 TDs. Jameson Williams, 9 TDs, 1,000 yards. Great year. St. Brown's going to get superstar dev, and TJ Hawkinson is going to get superstar dev. Looking at it defensively, Jabril Peppers, 150 tackles. That's superstar dev there. Tackles for a loss, 21 for Aidan Hutchinson. Sacks, 11 for Romeo Okwara, 8 for Hutchinson. Wow. Interceptions, 3 for Cameron Curl. Safeties on team at 2 for Aleem McNeil. Wait, that's a lot of safeties. 2 for Aleem McNeil, 1 for Jabril Peppers, 1 for Romeo Okwara. That's a lot. Defensive touchdowns is 1 for Jason Verrett. Interesting. All right. What was the defense ranked? 29th. Let's switch back to the Rams. Actually, no, the Ravens playbook is what got us here. So we're going to stay in the Ravens playbook, and we're going to see if we can beat the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card, pull off this miracle with the GOAT Tom Brady, see if we can do it. We don't. 42-21, but hey, he still made the playoffs. That's what matters. You took the Lions to the promised land, aka the playoffs, something they never really see very often. So it's now time to move into the offseason. In the Colts, and Jonathan Taylor wins Super Bowl MVP against the Vikings, and he wins League MVP, and he wins Offensive Player of the Year, and DeForest Buckner wins Defensive Player of the Year. Colts just dominated this season. Maybe we switch it up to Indianapolis's playbook. Let's try that, but let's see the roster upgrades first things first. Offensively, St. Brown gets superstar dev. Looks like Barton only has star dev on the O-line. I'm fine with that. TJ Hawkinson, I'm going to give him superstar dev. The dude had a great season. The game should have given it to him in the first place. So let's give this to TJ Hawkinson. And yep, he should have superstar dev now. He does. Good stuff. Team's looking great. Defensively, Nick Francisco has superstar dev. What a pick. He was a 3rd round pick. Jabril Peppers, I'm going to give superstar dev. He had a safety and he had like 6 tackles for a loss and 150 tackles. Dude was amazing. So we're going to give him that. 150 solo tackles, I might add. So there's that. Romeo Okwara had 11 sacks and didn't get a dev up. I'm not really going to change it. Michael Brockers needs to be cut. His contract just sucks. I'm going to cut him, save $9 million. And Tucker only has star dev. I'm cool with that. The team is shaping up very nicely. It looks like Charles Harris's facial expression just looks shocked. He's like, oh no. He's like, wow, look at that. Anyways, yeah. Need a defensive tackle in this upcoming draft. Aleem McNeil is pretty young, but still, I still need better defensive tackles. That's literally the only thing I need for this team. And definitely a better running back, because DeAndre Swift kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. Let's move to the re-sign players here to see who we have. And then we can move forward from there. Hopefully Brady does not retire. We need him. If we don't have Brady, we have no one. That's just how it works. 2022 retirements. Let's see who we got for the NFC North. No! The GOAT retires on the Lions. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. This just ruined the rebuild. I'm quite upset by this. Charles Harris, everyone else here is a no. I'm quite upset. If there's a better QB in free agency, I'll snag him. But for right now, I guess we have to rock out with that Travis Jones guy or whatever I picked in the second round. Let's get to free agency with $38 million to spend. And I spent all my money on Lamar Jackson. I'm not kidding you. I'm paying him $32 million a year, and that was barely enough to pay for him. Lamar Jackson is our new QB. Travis Young, I'm sorry. You're just not going to get a chance to start. It's now time to move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up KELVIN Pippen, 6'6", 303, only normal dev, but 95 strength. Dude looks like an animal. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a development trait. And then with my other first round pick, I'm getting Nathan Jones, middle linebacker out of Auburn, another Auburn middle linebacker who seems to be great. I'm going to move him to right outside linebacker. This is the team after the draft, and Lamar Jackson is just so set up at every position other than running back maybe. But looking at it defensively, we're going to move Jones over here, Nathan Jones over to right outside linebacker, so that way Francisco can move over back to left outside linebacker. He's a 73 overall right now, probably going to be a 75 overall whenever I move him to outside linebacker. What is he? He's a 72. What? move to right outside linebacker, please. I asked you to play a certain position. You better go play it. Julian Okwara, you're not going to be the starter, so I'm just going to cut you regardless. Get out of here. Don't want you. I want Jones, my starter, playing his position. 72 overall, went from 73 to a 72. It's not like an edge rusher. Oh, I guess he's a speed rusher. Yeah, actually. Damn. I guess he's just that quick. Anyways, he's 6'3". He's a pretty big guy. Pippen is a 76 overall. The dude's huge. The dude's a great pickup. He just doesn't have a dev, unfortunately. Orwaria, Jason Verrett's going to play at the bottom. Okuda. We have a really good team. Just needs to develop a little bit. Jones. Wow, Jones can play rush left end. Pippen is going to play over there. He's going to move over on Zarike. McNeil. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. I like what we got here. Bates is a guy I picked up in the 4th round. Yeah, I like everything that we got here. I'm rocking with this. We're a negative cap room, so we better make the best of our situation. And yeah, I need to switch out of the Ravens defensive playbook because it really sucked last time. And every time I try one of y'all's suggestions, it just doesn't work. So let me know down in the comments below if you got any specific suggestions. And Cleveland, let's go Indianapolis. That's what I was trying to last time because apparently they won the Super Bowl and their team was just beasts everywhere around. So let's try Indianapolis's defense. It's now time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as the defense is once again the problem, as it always is, because nothing makes sense in Madden. Literally not a single thing. Oh, you want a good game? You can't have it. Base 4-3, let's try that. Then let's try, sure, Giants defense. Let's try the Giants defense and see how it works. Because this is getting quite frustrating. I don't know if this is going to be a successful rebuild. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have here. TJ Hawkinson. Aidan Hutchinson should not be here, so I will adjust his contract accordingly. Let me get all the players I want. DeAndre Swift just sucks all around. He's never had a really good season with us, so I'm going to let him walk. Cameron Curl, I do want back. I traded for you. You're a pretty solid player. Romeo Okwara has actually been pretty good to us, so I will re-sign him. That's actually a cheaper deal than I thought it would be. Jonah Jackson, of course, I want you back as well. So let's re-sign you. You re-sign Jeff Okuda. I will re-sign you just as a depth player, even though you are kind of a bust. And we re-sign Quintus Cephas, no. Tracy Walker, no. Joshua Pascal, no. I'm just not going to worry about having these guys' contracts adjusted because they're just insignificant on my team anyways. But the big things are Jameson Williams and Aidan Hutchinson. They're both first-round picks, so they both should have 4-year deals with a 5th-year option. And I know they're not going to get a 5th-year option, so I'm just going to change it to 5 years here. Change Jameson Williams to 5 years. I'm going to change Aidan Hutchinson's contract to 5 years as well because that's what they should be. I'm glad EA lets you have this setting to where you can change their developments and you can change their contract years because the game itself is broken, so they know that you have to go in and fix it yourself most of the time. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to re-sign DeAndre Swift because he sucks unless he gets like 4.4 per carry. I'm not going to re-sign him because he just had all-around crappy seasons with us. With a guy with the last name of Penisini, I'm going to re-sign you. You better bet that. So anyways, it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 8-9 as the Bears take the division and make the playoffs at 8-9. Our defensive points per game is actually 18th, so the Giants playbook doesn't seem too bad. Stats and awards, let's see what we got here. Lamar Jackson did pretty, pulling his weight as always. 14th best offense, 30th best defense. I think that was because of the Colts playbook at the beginning of the season. 4,700 yards, 32 TDs, 5 interceptions. Great year. DeAndre Swift finally showing out in his contract year. 18 TDs, 4.0 per carry, 1,000 yards. I'm going to give him a contract now. St. Brown, 1,200 yards, 11 TDs. Hawkinson, only 3 touchdowns, but 1,000 yards. Jameson Williams had a bit of a down year, but still not a bad year. Nick Francisco, 127 tackles for a loss, 24 for Aidan Hutchinson, sacks, 9 for Aidan Hutchinson, interceptions, 3 for Jabril Peppers. I thought Aidan Hutchinson would do a lot better than this. 0 safeties and 0 defensive touchdowns. So, anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move into the offseason and the 4th season. And the Cowboys beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Neville Gallimore wins the Super Bowl MVP. Interesting. All right, then. That's the least of it, really. Interesting for Gallimore. Neville Gallimore. Interesting. Amon-Ra St. Brown gets Superstar X Factor. Defensively looking into it. Jones has started, but that's literally about it. And we have basically no money to spend in free agency, and we basically need an elite defensive player. Oh, we have 35 million. Never mind. Let's re-sign some players. Maybe sign a beast defensive tackle along with it. Because what was our defensive rushing game this year? Or was it our defensive passing game that was the problem? Let's see. It was our defensive passing game that was the problem. But we have a lot of depth at DB, and we actually have a pretty good secondary, so I don't really know what the problem with that is. It's always like that. DeAndre Swift, I'm going to give him a contract. He resigns. I already told you I'd bet you that I would resign a guy with the last name of Penisini. 5-year deal, up the money for him, and Penisini resigns. So I'm cool with all that. It's now time to move into free agency with $28 million to spend, maybe sign a big-time player. Reuniting Darius Slay back to Detroit. Kyle Juszczyk, a former Raven, but he didn't play with Lamar Jackson, but still a former Raven. And Justin Tucker is going to reunite with Lamar Jackson. So anyways, guys, it is now time to get into the draft, and I'm probably going to draft another defensive tackle. In the first round, I'm picking up defensive tackle, another defensive tackle to Georgia, Dom Jones. This time, this one has hidden development, so that's good for us. And in the second round, I'm picking up DeAndre Barnett, 6'2" out of Iowa State, hidden dev receiver, another weapon for Lamar. This is the team after the draft, and I built a B squad. I would honestly not be surprised if we just probably went 11-6. That's what my prediction for this team is. Barnett here, is it Derek Barnett? No, DeAndre Barnett, not Derek Barnett. He's a defensive end for the Eagles, first round pick. DeAndre Barnett seems to be a beast. Looking at it defensively, Jones is a 74 overall, but he's not as high as Pippen and McNeil are. He's still a good player, so I'm not really too worried about that. Secondary's looking great. Linebackers are looking great. Team's looking great overall. If we just had more time to develop, it would be a different story. But probably going 11-6 to the playoffs. We don't need the midseason mark because we don't need to re-sign anybody, so let's skip into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 14-3, top the division with the first round bye. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I'm sure we'll get out of the divisional round immediately. But Lamar Jackson led us to the promised land. I'm sure he'll give us a first-round bye just like he did with the Ravens, then just dip. Second pass rating, most passing yards, most passing touchdowns. That has to be MVP. And it is Lamar Jackson, league MVP. Best offense in the NFL. Did the defense pick up slack? No. They dragged us down. 5,100 yards, 51 TDs, 6 interceptions, amazing year. DeAndre Swift, 7 TDs, 4.4 per carry is pretty good, 1,100 yards. DJ Chark, 1,300 yards, 9 TDs. Jameson Williams, 13 TDs, 1,300 yards, amazing season. TJ Hawkins, 10,000 yards, 13 TDs. St. Brown had his worst year yet. And Bates, Jefferson, Dixon. Wow, DeAndre Barnett, second-round pick, didn't even get a single touch. Unfortunate. Defensively, Jabril Peppers, 119 tackles for 4 losses, 14 for Romeo Okwara. Sacks, 13.5 for Aidan Hutchinson. Interceptions, 5 for Darius Slay. And for safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Darius Slay. Defense needs to start picking up its slack because I'm sure it's going to be the reason we lose. Anyways, let's see who we are going to be playing in the divisional round. Let's see who we got here. 9-8 LA Rams. We have the third best rushing defense, but the worst passing defense in the league. 19th in points per game. Let's see if we can beat the Rams to move on to the conference championship. We don't. 34-28. Unsuccessful rebuild. Hugely. Couldn't even make it past the divisional round. Sounds a lot like the Lions in real life. Anyways, guys, this is the fourth and final overlook of the team before I end out the video. Unfortunate rebuild for us, but we can't win them all, of course. Lamar Jackson, it's just, I built such a super squad. I always built such huge super squads, and then, of course, nothing happens in the end. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate you guys for watching. Tell me which team you'd like me to rebuild next as I'm kind of yawning here, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.